Okay. Hey, good evening, everyone. I am very happy to announce that today is our class number 3. So in this class, we will be talking about the final part of Agile, traditional, Agile Manifesto, the 4 values and the 12 principles. And what is that? Let me just try to connect the previous topic. Remember that last week, or yes, last Friday, we were talking about project integration management. And some of the definitions that we were talking about was that we have 2 different type of projects. One type of project, it's traditional, which is waterfall. Remember that I did like this, like a table, boom. So keep that in mind, that it's a topic that we will be learning more during the next 7 sessions of this class left. So every single week, every single day, we'll be talking about predictive, and adaptive. So remember that I told you that when you see the word predictive, it's waterfall. So it's another name for the exam, waterfall. Another name is plan-driven, plan-driven. And another name for predictive approach is traditional, traditional. And when you see the terminology adaptive, it's all about agile. So another name for agile, it's change-driven, change-driven. And so let's say, what is the difference, let's say, between a predictive and adaptive? Thank you for asking. Predictive approach is when you know exactly at the beginning of the project, you know what is the cost, how much is going to cost your project. You know exactly the scope, and also you know the duration. So you have everything clear here, the triangle. But what is the problem in this type of approach is that if you want to make a change, you need to submit a change request, which is changes are managed carefully. That is predictive side of the classification of projects. However, when you see agile and adaptive, it's the opposite. So what is the difference, let's say? In adaptive, we organize the project into short cycles of time to deliver value. So in this case, you're going to have sprints and iterations. Sprint number 1, sprint number 2, sprint number 3, and so on. So the difference is that at the beginning of an agile project, you don't know exactly the final design. What you have is just an idea. So we will be creating value incrementally. So after the sprint number 1, you are going to inspect and adapt. Inspection and adaptation. Remember the 3 pillars of Agile that I told you at the beginning of this class 2 weeks ago, is that the 3 pillars of Agile, those are philosophies or concepts. Number 1 is transparency. Number 2, inspection. And number 3, it's adaptation. That is all about agility. So I love Agile because changes are welcome. So I'm very happy here. I'm gonna put a happy face because in agility, changes are welcome. But it's the opposite. In traditional, oh my gosh, Lisa, you want to change something? Oh no, we need to create a change request process. But in agility, we are ready to change. Why? Because at the end of the sprint, we will be inspecting and adapting and making every single improvement, changes, adaptations to create and to keep our customers happy. So to me, agility is flexible. I think that's my opinion. It's very flexible, right? And to me also is more realistic realistic, because changes are inevitable. So having said that, I want to connect this conversation with the homework that that we put for today. So this is the integration, but we have still pending the Agile homework in order to conclude this topic and jump into the scope and schedule management. So having said that, just to provide an overview, you have this screen. You have the official definition of predictive. This is the difference, the definitions, and this some of the characteristics of an adaptive approach. So adaptive life cycles are agile, iterative, or incremental, as I told you, talking about the sprints. The detailed scope or blueprint is defined and approved before the start of an iteration. What is that iteration? Iteration, it equals sprint. These cycles. Adaptive life cycles are also referred to as agile or change-driven life cycles. So when it is appropriate to use an adaptive approach? Good question. Good question for the exam. So adaptive approaches are useful when requirements or expectations or functionalities, that is the same idea, functionalities are subject to a high level of uncertainty. So you don't know what's going to happen in the future. And volatility. That is absolutely what we have today in business, technologies, markets, globally, and are likely to change during the project implementation. So the initial requirements are refined, like review it one more time, detailed, changed, or replaced in accordance with user feedback. Happy face here. Why? Because you have conversations constantly in agility. You have conversations with your customers at the end of the sprint. So let's say, why you're making emphasis in that specific issue? It's because in traditional, adaptive, predictive, sometimes you need to wait until the 6 months to have a conversation with your customers. And sometimes it's too late because you didn't have the opportunity to present the increment of your product to your beautiful customers. So you will see a lot of surprises in predictive environment. So in agility, no surprises because we have conversation every single month at the end of the sprint. That's why I love agility. I'm not going to define just this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different agile approaches because that is not part of this class today. Just mentioning that agile, after your presentation, I'm going to explain. I'm going back to this page to show you that agile, it's an umbrella. And under agile, we have different methodologies and frameworks. Some of those are Lean, Scrum, XP, that's Extreme Programming, SAFe, Kanban, and DevOps. What does Dallas say? Don't worry, I'm going to explain coming up, not right now. It's just to let you know, just to introduce the idea that Agile is not only one thing, it's a lot of things together. So Agile, it's a consolidation of different methodologies. Those are Agile methodologies. So let me just make sure we are in the right place. So key takeaways in terms of integration is that integration management is the only knowledge areas specific to project management. I'm sorry, Mr. George, any question in the chat? Any comment?
Hey, Professor. No, nothing yet.
Okay, just let me know and stop me at any time if you see any question, because I'm just focusing on delivering this content and the value of the class. Is that okay, Mr. George?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. So the integration management is the only knowledge area in project management that it's just for us, specific to project managers. because nobody else um, needs to know every single detail. It's a comprehensive knowledge of the end-to-end process in the project. Number two, the project manager is the one who combines the results in all the knowledge areas and has the overall view of the project. Happy face, yay, we know everything because we have all the information together. 7 processes and integration: develop charter, project management, develop project management plan, direct the work, monitoring and controlling, performing change control, close the project or phase. So having said that, I think we are ready to take the break. I'm going to give you 5 minutes breakout. I don't know if you need it, but just let me know. Miss Larissa. Oh, Miss Pamela is not attending the class today. Miss Julie, you know that? Miss Julie, Miss Pamela.
Pamela had a meeting tonight that she had to go to, but she said that she would catch up on today's meeting. She wasn't able to make it.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to let her know that she needs to just watch the video after today, maybe before Friday. Okay, so Miss Julie, Mr. George, Miss Larissa, I know Miss Tina cannot speak. I don't know if you can speak, Miss Tina. But now what I have in my agenda is to give you 5 minutes, like a private breakout room.
Yeah, I can speak.
Ah, okay, good. Okay, so yes, now that you can speak, I'm going to send you to the breakout rooms and I'm going to give you 5 minutes to define who's going to present. Maybe you don't need 5 minutes, maybe you need less than 5 minutes, but still, I'm going to give you time right now. That is part of my agenda. And when you come back in 5 minutes, I'm going to ask, hey, team number 1, could you tell me something about what is Agile? What is Agile Manifesto? You know, the dynamics of the homework and assignments. So we are going to do that right now. And let me just send you to your private rooms. Good luck, everybody. Madagascar, Madagascar. Why did you put Madagascar, Jorge, in the chat?
Oh, because Larissa, I believe she said that she was from there, and I was just like, man, that's
Ah,
awesome. Shout out to Madagascar. That's amazing.
oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, Madagascar. All right, let me send you and create 5 minutes private session so you can focus on your homework and be ready. And just 5 minutes. Let me just create 3 rooms. So Miss Tina and George, you will be able to select who's going to present. So team number 1 is Miss Larissa. Team number 2 is just Miss Julie. And team number 3 will be Mr. George and Miss Tina. Okay, I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. So when you come back, be ready to present your topic. Is that okay, George? Are we ready? Yes?
Yes, yes. Let's go into the breakout room.
Okay. Go. You can go now. Okay, now we are recording. Okay, I think. Okay. Okay, can you guys hear me? Mr. George, can you hear me?
Yes, Professor.
Thank you so much. I think we are ready to start asking Miss Larissa, what is Agile and what is Agile Manifesto? Miss Larissa, when you're ready.
Yes. So, Agile is an adaptive approach to project management. Adaptive means that it adjusts to change instead of fighting it. Like if you imagine being like driving a car in the middle of the night with your headlights on and you can only see like a few meters, like 100 meters in front of you, that's enough to move forward. You just keep checking and adjusting as you go. So that's agile. Like you don't need to know everything at the start. You just need to know enough to deliver value and adapt to what's ahead.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
yes, super cool. I was going to tell you that first person that I remember that I'm teaching this like 4 times a week. And thank you, Miss Larissa. You can continue, but I love the example that you put it. Just the introduction. You can continue. Agile Manifesto.
And Agile Manifesto, it's like the constitution of Agile. It's the formalized like shape. It contains 4 core values. So the 4 core values, the first one is individuals and interactions over processes and tools. That means people, like the different develop.
Miss Larissa, excuse me, because the team number 2 is going to explain in detail the 4 values. So
Okay.
you did a great job introduction of Agile, and the Agile Manifesto is the constitution. It's like a document, right, Miss Larissa? Did you find something else, anything else about Agile Manifesto as a document?
Yes, this document, it includes 4 core values, so individuals, interactions, over process and tools, and the 3 other ones that they're going to explain. And it also includes 12 principles, like delivering value early, welcoming change, trusting self-organizing teams, and continuously improving. Sorry.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect because team number 2 is going to explain the 4 values, and team number 3, they're going to explain the 12 principles. Just like an introduction, because I know it's too much information, but thank you so much, team number 1. I want reactions and congratulations because you did a great job, team number 1. So I'm going to watch who is participating. Yes, thank you, Miss Julie. Mr. George, I don't see any reactions, thumbs up, hearts, corazoncito, celebration. I don't know if Miss Tina, you can do that because you're driving. But that is the type of environment that we need to create in this class. All right. Thank you so much. Team number 1. Team number 1, good job. All right. Let me move forward and let me ask team number 2, which is Miss Julie for today. Just Miss Pamela is not here. But what are the 4 values of Agile, Miss Julie?
Hi guys, I'm Julie, or Jules, whatever you want. So I did a little bit of research on Copilot, and this is what I found. It's just basically a quick rundown of the 4 core values of Agile, about how the teams work and how the teams think. So first, Agile values people and interactions over processes and tools. That means people and interactions is more valuable than tools. That means strong teamwork and communication matter more than a rigid system. 2, second value is working software is more important than comprehensive documentation. So in other words, delivering something that actually works beats writing about how it could work. And third, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Agile teams stay flexible and work closely with customers rather than sticking to fixed agreements. And finally, the fourth, responding to change over following a plan. Agile embraces change even late in the game because adaptability leads to better results. So,
I love it. Okay, I'm sorry. You can finish.
last thing, thank you. So, basically, the four values are all about being flexible, people focused, and outcome driven.
I love it because Agile is about people, team, collaboration, humanity. It's not only about tools, techniques, processes. It's more flexible, more. I love agility. So thank you so much, team number two, Miss Jules. So I need an applause. I need reactions. So I'm watching you in the chat if you are doing the things that I'm telling you. Thank you so much, Miss Larissa. I can see the party icon. Jules, you put it in heart. Miss Stein, I don't know if you can do it, but Mr. George, I don't see that you are putting something beautiful for Miss Jules.
I am so sorry. I am so terrible
You
with
don't know.
finding the reactions.
Oh,
My
Miss Jules,
apologies.
Miss Jules, can you help Mr. George to find out
No,
where,
no, no. I know now. It's just I
Okay, can you
froze a
try?
little.
Can you
Sorry.
try? No, 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 but can
Yes.
you try now? So I
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
see the reaction. I don't
Boom.
see it.
You
I
didn't see
don't,
it?
no, déjame ver. Let me check.
I just
Let me
did.
check. No, I don't see your reaction. So
No?
try again, try again. Trata
Oh.
otra vez.
Okay, no, can someone explain it to me then? Because I
I,
thought
I see your
because
reactions, George.
But I don't see it. I don't see the reactions. I don't
Like,
see
it's
it.
on his screen, like on his photo. See, look at the rocket ships on his, like, when you go to see him through the video.
But it's in participants or it's
Do
okay.
it again, George.
Yeah, 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 I know. It's that I need to open the display of the gallery so I can see all of you guys. Okay, that's why
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need to set out that. Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. George.
no, no. Is there a different way to do it?
I've been going like this and going like this.
Pero why I can see immediately the reaction from Miss Larissa, Miss Tina, Miss Jules, then
Oh,
the participants.
you
They,
know, there's two different kinds of effects. There's one with a reaction like this, the regular heart, and then there's one with effect. I don't know if maybe
oh,
Oh,
okay. Oh, George, I can see your reaction now because I can
I
see your face. So I
see.
was
I
trying
was
to.
doing reaction with effect. Okay.
Okay,
I
let's.
thought it was displayed the same, but now I know that
okay.
it's not. Thank you guys.
Okay, that is another option that I can check all the features that I have in front of my screen. A lot of stuff to see here at the same time. The PowerPoint, the breakout, the participants. So, all right. So let me continue because today's class is so beautiful. We'll be talking about scope management and schedule management. Two pillars in project management. So this is just the agility assignment. And we finish the integration management officially. So now I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I'm going to present the next topic, which is scope management.
Excuse me, professor, should I share the 12 principles?
Oh, you didn't. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Yes, George, I'm sorry. Tú sabes, yo estoy a little crazy today. I don't know why.
No, 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 you're totally fine.
I'm sorry. Let me just go to I was thinking that you did it, but you didn't. Okay, thing number 3, 12 principles of Agile. Let's
Okay. So
begin.
the 12 principles
Mhm,
is customer satisfaction, welcome change requirements, frequent delivery,
mhm,
daily collaboration, motivated individuals, face-to-face conversation, working software, which is basically it's not just about how many documents have been written, but about how many hours have been logged. So it's kind of like boots on the ground instead of like paperwork driven. Like if that's how that's applied. Sustainable development. It means like it's kind of like how the professor talked about short cycles and sprints. It's like making sure that their sprints are doable. You're not going for 1,000 yards, you're going for 100 yards then resetting, then 100 yards. So it's kind of like a football game, I guess. Um,
Yep.
technical excellence.
Yes.
That means, let me see, technical excellence. It's built into the project, clean code base and good design, make it easy to adapt to changes. It's technical excellence and good design. Enhance. I don't know what it is. I hope we'll go
Technical
over it.
excellence is doing everything with quality. That's a general,
Okay.
so you don't
I,
need
I
to.
I was overthinking it then.
Yeah, we can continue. That's
10 is simplicity.
Mhm.
Maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. The art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. The principles encourages teams to focus on the essentials and avoid unnecessary complexity. Self-organizing teams, um, it's kind of like people are all into it together, whatever they're doing. So you kind of like let people do what they do, and you just kind of overwatch that in a way.
Yes,
As
that's
you integrate into different facilities that might need it, from development to customer, which is who we cater to.
yep.
And continuous improvement, that means just doing it again and again, outcome driven, and yeah.
Just improving, changing for better. That is from Japanese Kaizen terminology. I love that. That is quality. Okay, you can continue. That's it.
No, that's it. Those are the 12. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I want reactions for the team number 3, which is Miss Tina and Mr. George. And now I'm going to see Miss Jules, Miss Larissa. I can see your reactions. Yes, now I can see every single reaction. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody's reacting. All right, so let me just provide an overview, like 2 more minutes. Believe me that I want to just to clarify and emphasize, make emphasis in a couple of ideas right here. So when you see the terminology Agile Manifesto, and Miss Larissa, you did a great job explaining that Agile Manifesto, it's a document. It's a document. This document was created in 2001. Please pay attention. I love this Agile origin. El origen de Agile is so cool. They get together in Utah, in the city of Utah State, I'm sorry, and 17 leaders from software development industry, they get together and they said, we cannot continue developing solutions for our customers using the traditional mindset. Our customers all the time, they are sad. They're not satisfied. Our budget, we all the time we need more money. So we don't know how to manage budget. And last but not least, 99% of the time we are behind schedule. So traditional project management is not for us. So we need to create another mentality or philosophy to be realistic in software development solutions. So after that, they said, okay, we're going to create a movement, como un movimiento, like a revolution. So Agile is a movement, un movimiento, movement created in 2001 in Utah, where 17 leaders, they say, no, we need to create something different. So after that, they included into the Agile Manifesto, into this document, the 4 values, 1, 2, 3, 4 values, 1, 2, 3, 4 values, and the 12 principles. So that is Agile Manifesto. So if you are going to ask me, let's say, okay, what is Agile? Just give me your opinion. That is my personal definition of Agile. Agile, that is my definition, my personal definition, is not a methodology. It's a mindset. It's a philosophy here. This is Agile. And I told you that before. Agile is a mindset based on values, this for values, and guided by principles, by 12 principles, but it's manifested through practices. So Agile is not only theory and blah, 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 and beautiful definitions, and no, it's not only values and principles. Agile is also a set of frameworks and practices. Some of Agile frameworks, we have the Scrum, which is one. We have DevOps. We have Lean. We have SAFe. We have XP. Oh my goodness, Lisa, what is that? Don't worry, those, I just want you to know that Agile is not one thing. Agile is a lot of things together. That is the idea that I want you to take into consideration for now. When we move forward through the life cycle of this program, I will be explaining a little bit more about what is DevOps, what is XP, what is Scrum, what is Kanban. But for now, for today, this is my definition of agility. So if I ask you, what is Agile? The best response is Agile, it's a mindset. It's a mindset, it's a philosophy. All right, so let me see what time is it, because we have the normal break at 8 o'clock. So in 10 minutes, we're gonna have the break. Let me ask Mr. George. Mr. George, can
Hey,
you
Professor.
any question in the chat? Is this idea clear? Do you think that I can continue?
I believe you can continue. There has been no questions so far.
Okay, can I continue with this rhythm, conversation, speed?
You're doing phenomenal. Please do.
Thank you so much. Let me just transition to the next topic. And after that, we are going to take the 10 minutes break. Now I'm going to share with you one of my favorite topics, which is scope management. What is that, Lisette? I'll let you know right now. So let me share my screen one more time, and you will see what is scope management about. What is that, Lisette? Okay, thank you for asking. So let me know, Mr. George, if you can see scope here in this page. Scope management, can you see it? Anyone? Any volunteer?
Yes, I see it. Sorry. I
Okay.
thought my mic
Just to
was
make sure.
on.
No problem. That's perfect. Oh, all right. So remember that this class is about agility. So agility, we have 3 pillars. Number 1, transparency. Number 2, inspection. And number 3, adaptation. So if you're going to forget everything about this class, never forget these 3 pillars: transparency, inspection, and adaptation. So why are you mentioning that every day? Because this is what I'm teaching you. When I am presenting the course structure, is because I'm being transparent. We don't have secrets in this class. So at any time you can say, hey, we are late listed. Okay, let me inspect and adapt. So you can help me inspecting, and you can help me to improve my process of this class. So having said that, let me introduce the scope management, which is the day number 3. And we're going to spend around 45 minutes in this topic. Let me continue. So at the end of this module, we will be able to mention the 6 scope management processes in a project. That's the expectation number 1. Expectation number 2, we are going to identify the purpose of a WBS. Let's say, what is that? The WBS is a key terminology that we're going to explain coming up. And also the backlog. What is that, let's say? This is the WBS, but for Agile. Those are similar. This is for traditional, and this is for Agile backlog. Expectation number 3, we're going to talk about scope management for Agile adaptive projects, including the use of prototypes. What is that? Let you know. Okay, I'm going to ask a volunteer. I'm going to copy and paste the list of participants. So I have Mr. George, you are the first one in my list. Can you just help me reading these bullets?
Yes, of course. Project scope management. Project scope processes. Plan scope management. Collect requirements. Define scope. Create the WBS. Validating scope and control scope.
Thank you very much. So as you can see, in scope management, we have 6 processes. Let's say, do we need to memorize all those processes for the exam? The answer is no. Remember that in this class, we are not supposed to memorize anything. Why? Because I'm expecting you to practice the exams. The practice exams, as soon as you get familiar with this type of terminology and processes, you don't need to memorize. What you need to do is practice, 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 reading, practicing. That's the strategy to pass the exam. So having said that, when you see the definition of a scope management, pay attention because this is very relevant for the exam. This definition is that scope management includes the processes required to make sure that the project it's including all the work we need to perform in order to create value. It's making sure that we are including everything that my stakeholders are expecting from me. So including all the work required and only the work required to complete the project successfully. It's like a commitment. Okay, now I know that you are my customer and I know that you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me make sure I can achieve the goal of completing the work that we need to do. So it's like an agreement with your stakeholders. So having said that, in scope management, we have a couple of processes that Mr. George just explained before in the previous page. And I'm going to provide like an overview, and I want you to pay attention because I know this is too much information, but try to take a picture of this page. Because remember, I'm going to explain in detail coming up. So now it's just an overview. So let me provide an overview, and after that, I think we're ready for the break. So you can relax and come back fresh so we can continue because I know it's too much. All right. So the process number 1 in scope management, it's planning. Remember that every single process in project management, the first process in every single knowledge area, it's planning. So the first thing that we need to do, it's planning. Plan the scope management. Now, what is that? Planning is about creating a document about how the project scope will be defined, validated, and controlled. That is an overview of planning, very general information. The process number 2, it's collect requirements. What is that? Now that I know that I have 5 customers, 2 investors, 3 marketing experts, I need to have conversations and meetings to understand what are the needs of my stakeholders. So that is collect requirements process. This is the process number 2, is understanding customers' requirements, right? It's gathering information. So when you see collect requirements as a process, it's all about determining and managing stakeholder needs and requirements. So before you start executing the project, you need to know what to do. What are the expectations? So that's why you need to have a lot of meetings with every single stakeholders, customers, investors. That is collect requirements, conversations, and meetings. That's collecting information, collecting needs, collecting requirements, collecting features and functions, characteristics. So every single detail you need to know before you start creating value. So now that I have a lot of things, because every single person is going to ask for something different, believe me, I've been there, you need to negotiate because we don't have all the resources available. So we need to have like a lot of negotiation skills in order to just, okay, you need 20 features. I'm going to give you 5 because we don't have the money, we don't have the people. So that's why we need to negotiate and create the number 3, which is the scope. So the scope is the process number 3 when you make an agreement with the list of stakeholders. I said, okay, this is the scope of my project. The requirements is one thing, and now we need to select what are the priorities of that huge list. So this is the giant list, and this is maybe smaller, the scope. So what is the scope? Let me just clean this part and let me use another color. So when you are defining the scope, it's developing a detailed description of the project and the product that we are going to create. It's also defining which of the requirements collected here in this process will be included in and also excluded from the project scope. So in other words, you cannot say yes to every single requirements. You need to create a scope. So the scope is the final version of my project plan. That's it. That is defining scope. It's negotiating. Now that I have a very clear list of things to do in this process, number 3, I am ready to create the WBS. And this is I'm going to put a happy face here. I'm almost done, 2 more minutes. Create the WBS is the final representation of the list of deliverables or outcomes that the people are expecting. So it's subdividing the deliverables and project work into smaller, more manageable components. So what is that? Let's say this is the elephant here. You have an elephant. Pay attention because we're almost ready for the break. This is the elephant. Huge. This is the scope of the project. Question. How can we eat an elephant? Anyone? What is the only way that you can eat something that is huge?
Well, first, you should not eat an elephant, but if we were, it would be little by little.
Absolutely. You need to cut. I love that. You need to cut the elephant. That was beside it? That comment was beside it?
Yes, yes.
I love it. I love it. Me encanta este comentario. So the only way that we can eat something huge, it's cut into pieces. So the WBS, the creation of a WBS, pay attention because I love this project management. It's so like, obviously, you need to think big and then thinking small. So you will be able, now that I know this elephant, it's huge, I need to cut the elephant into pieces. This is the house that I'm going to build. And I'm going to create like more small pieces of the house. Number 1, I'm going to create a kitchen. I'm going to build a backyard. I'm going to also build a living room. I'm going to add a swimming pool. So those are the pieces of the elephant. So you can estimate the duration and the cost of each one of those components. So that is the only way that you can create a detailed plan. You have high-level ideas. That is the elephant. So the WBS is the decomposition of the list of things to do into smaller pieces so you can manage, you can implement, you can execute, you can estimate easily. Easier, I will say, easier. So subdividing the project deliverables and project work into smaller, more manageable components provides a structured vision of what has to be done or delivered. That is the WBS. This is the elephant. The rest of the processes I'm not going to explain because they're very straightforward. Validate scope is just reviewing the increments. So it's about formalizing the acceptance and show the results to the customer and say, hey, this is what you wanted. Yes, you want to change something? Yes. Validating the scope. And last but not least, controlling the scope. It's monitoring. When you see monitor, it's about watching, observing, and making changes and fixing mistakes. That is monitor status of project and product scope, managing changes to the scope baseline. All right. It's 8:04 right now. Mr. Josh, any question? Are we guys ready for the break?
Hey, Professor, no questions so far. I think we could be ready. If I don't want to speak for everybody, but
Okay. Any question? If you don't see anything in the chat, it's because maybe they don't have questions, but it's okay. We have 10 minutes from now. It's 8:04 plus 10 equals 8:14 p.m. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Okay, Mr. George, can you see my screen?
yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to continue. Remember that before the break, we were talking about scope management. And scope management, I was explaining that you will see in the Bible that scope, it's about 6 processes: planning, collecting requirements, define the scope, create the WBS, validate scope, and control scope. These 4 processes are from the planning group of processes, and these 2 are controlling. So you don't need to know that for the exam. It's just, I'm telling you just for reference. Let me continue. All right, I want you to pay attention. Please pay attention because this is the most relevant information for the exam. So when you see the terminology scope, you can have 2 ideas. Number 1, product scope, and number 2, project scope. So when you see the word product scope, this terminology is about features, functions, capabilities, or characteristics of the product. However, when you see the terminology project scope, it's about the work to be done in order to create the product. So we have 2 concepts for the exam: product scope and project scope. Both scopes are important for the project manager, for us. So we need to track both scopes. All right. I would like to ask a volunteer if, let me just, Mr. Josh, you help me the first one. Miss Jules, can you help me reading this page, this screen, what you see in the screen?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, consideration for agile adaptive environments. First bullet point, agile methods spend less time trying to define and agree on scope in the early stage. Second point, agile methods build and review prototypes and release versions in order to refine the requirements. 3, the requirements constitute the backlog.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So when you see considerations for agile and adaptive environments, is that for traditional, we have a couple of different things to explain. So the WBS that I was explaining on the previous page, it's in agility, the name of that idea, the breaking down things, the name of that piece of information is the backlog. So the agile methodologies, we don't need to create all the details from the very beginning. Remember that you have just enough. like Miss Larissa was explaining, when you're driving, just what you can see, like just enough to start creating something. So in agile methodologies, you spend less time trying to define every single scope at the beginning. You don't need that. You don't need that. Why? Because you will have time to inspect and adapt and incrementally create more value. So you know that about agility. So agile methodologies build a review prototypes. What is that? Said? We're going to see the definition of a prototype coming up. The prototype is a representation of the final product, but it's cheap and it's easy to build. You will see the definition coming up. So in agile methodology, build a review prototypes, like version number 1 of the final product, and release versions in order to refine the requirements. So prototyping, it's a very important technique in agile scope management, prototyping. Number 3, the requirements for agile, the list of requirements are here on the product backlog. So what is that said? This is a list of items to be created as part of the project lifecycle in agility. So let's say, what are the components that I'm supposed to include into a product backlog? This is the answer. So this is a product backlog, which is the Agile WBS. And you need to include every single feature, capability, characteristic, work, everything. So all components, project scope and product scope, everything is supposed to be here. So the product backlog items can be features, mistakes, or errors that you are fixing, technical work, training, spikes. I'm going to explain that coming up, that those are like new technologies that you don't know how to resolve, like something that you don't know, you're investigating and researching topics here. So when you see the features here in backlog, product backlog, you can decompose the features into user stories, use cases, and free-form text. So what is that? Everything here, those are the requirements. Requirements or customer needs. Something that I love is that in traditional, pay attention because maybe it doesn't make sense for you, but remember that I've been in every single type of methodology. So traditionally, the IT software development projects were very like technical language. So not everybody in the organization were able to understand the software and technical terminology. Now, because agility, it's a mindset and you can apply agile in every single part of the business. Now the language, it's simple. So this is a good news and I'm going to explain why. It's because now in agility, the requirements are just user stories. The user story, it's created or designed in a very simple business, straightforward language. So anybody at any level in the organization are able to understand a user story. So what is a user story? It's a requirement, but in a beautiful language. Requirement in Agile. So the user stories are the items in the product backlog. Simplified description of a requirement. That's it. What is a user story? It's a requirement in Agile. So this is like a nomenclature of a user story. This is just an example. Let's say me as a salesperson, I want my client information accessible everywhere so I can make more sales. So what is that? Let's say this is a user story, which is a requirement in Agile language. That's it. So I love user stories because I remember when I was working for Cisco Systems, there was no agility mindset at all. Everything was weird and very technical language. So now every single human being in the organization can understand the projects using agility terminologies. So let me continue. Mr. George, do you think that that concept is clear or any question? Can I continue?
I
don't
think
know.
it's very clear. There are no questions in the chat right now. But yeah, go ahead.
Continue. Just stop me at any time. So now that we know we have a foundational concept about scope management, we know that the first process is planning. So when you use a scope management plan, it's a document that is going to include process to create the WBS, the process that establishes how the WBS will be maintained and approved. Also, processes that specifies how formal acceptance will be obtained. So the tricky part in this page that I'm putting in yellow is because this is a very popular question in the exam. So pay attention because this is absolutely for the exam. To me, for the exam, you need to know that the scope management plan, this document here that I'm explaining right now, can be formal or not, or informal. Broadly framed or highly detailed. So it's up to you. Based on what? Based on the needs of the project. So that's it. This is it's a tricky part for the exam. So this plan can be formal or informal. That's it. That's it. I want you to keep that in mind for the exam. Now I'm going to give you time so you can respond this question. Take your time. I'm going to give you time, and also I'm going to copy and paste this link into the Zoom chat so you can have for your records, like a practice exam. So read the question, put the answer in the chat, and Mr. George is going to let me know how many responses we have. I'm going to copy and paste.
Right now we have 3 responses, so just waiting on one more person.
Three, it's okay. It's more than 50% of the audience.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you so much, Mr. George. Mr. George, can you check the link that I posted on Zoom chat to see if that link it's working properly? Please?
Yes, it's opening properly and it's here.
Okay. So
Yes.
remember that I created for each one of the topics, I created like a practice exam. So you can have that exam for your records and practice after the class when you are starting to take the exam. All right, so what is the most popular response in the chat, Mr. George?
What was that?
What is the most popular response in the chat?
Yes, I believe it is B.
B, let me check. Yes, you're right. So this is just a tricky question to see if you're here. Are you with me? Yes, okay. I just said that. The scope management plan can be formal or informal. The answer is yes. Okay, perfect. Let me check.
Excuse me, we have one question in the chat.
Okay.
The question is, can we get a final test example at the end of the course? Will we take an exam at the end of this class?
Yes, I love that question, Ms. Jules. We have practice exams at the end of each topic. So I'm going to post those 10 exams into the Google Classroom so we don't need to wait until the final, the last day of the class. Did I answer your question? So we can have multiple practices and one huge exam at the end. So okay. I can put everything. You will have a lot of material to practice, and also I'm going to give you a simulator free trial so you can use the free trial to take exams, practice exams. So you have two different sources to practice.
Thank
you. You're welcome. All right, so let me continue. All right, remember that we're talking about scope management. Process number 1, plan scope management. Process number 2, collect requirements. And I gave you the overall description, but now we are getting into details. So let me ask the person volunteer number 3, we just asked Mr. George, Miss Jules, Miss Larissa. can you help me reading collect requirements definition?
Yes.
Thank you.
Collect requirements is the process of determining stakeholder needs and requirements. Requirements help define the product scope and project scope.
Thank you very much. So remember that I told you that when you see the collect requirements process, it's all about speaking with people, gathering information, having conversations and meetings. Why? Because you need to know the needs and requirements from customers, investors, marketing team, government, you name it. So it's the process of create the list of needs and requirements of everybody. What is stakeholders? Stakeholders, everybody. Let me put like this symbol here. All the people involved. So requirements help define the product scope. You see, product scope and also project scope. We continue. So that's why we need to use prototypes. Why? Because normally not everybody knows what to create. Let's say I have no idea. The only thing that I know is that I need this page and I need to create this report and I need to create this book and I need to, I don't know what to say. Can you help me, Lisette? Can you provide some ideas so we can speak together and design the final configuration of the things that I want? So sometimes they don't know what they want. So prototypes is a very beautiful way to collect requirements because it's going to help you to understand the customer. So when you see the definition of a prototype, pay attention because this is a very hot topic for the exam also, is the version of a new product which allows the team to collect the greatest amount of information validated by the client. And the good news is that prototypes are cheap, you see, with the minimal effort and the minimal investment. So you can have throwaway prototypes. You can use a napkin in a restaurant and just create a chart. That is a prototype. And if you see these video games controllers, George, you are the fan of this type of things. The PlayStation organization and companies, they have a lot of prototypes before they get the final design. Just to let you know, George, that is very popular in video games design. So you can have functional prototypes, storyboarding, and throwaway prototypes. So what is prototype? It's a representation of a real product, but it's very cheap. So you can understand customer needs. So having said that, I'm going to jump into minimum viable product because those two concepts are very related. So in agility, this is the mindset. You don't know exactly the final configuration of your product, but you can create the version number one. So the version number one in agility, remember that we have sprints. Please pay attention because this is so pretty, this concept. I love it, MVP. This is my agile project, right? This is the start and this is the end. I have the sprint number one, sprint number two, sprint number three, and so on. There is a concept in agility is that the stakeholders, they love when you eat the dessert first, meaning that if you can create the version number one of your product in the very beginning, you can start making money. So the name of that version number one, it's an MVP. So what it's an MVP by definition is a minimum viable product, MVP. One more time. What is an MVP? The MVP is a minimum viable product. Let me ask filmmaking experts here in this conversation, this room. In your industry, guys, do you do something like that, like just a previews for the final episode? I don't know. It's just maybe this is a crazy question for you guys, But do you sometimes you create something just to show the idea?
If
No?
no one else is gonna say anything, I would say, yeah, we have this thing called previs or storyboard, where, well, I guess you don't make money, but everybody could see it. You know, it's a prototype.
It's a prototype, but this is the concept. So in filmmaking, you have this concept to create something to show the stakeholders
Yes,
idea.
exactly. Yes.
There's also, would it be proof of concept, George?
Oh, yeah, proof of concept for sure.
It could be a
So I don't know.
couple. Yes, Miss Jules?
So the proof of concept is sometimes like they an art like a filmmaker might make a super low budget short film to set the tone, the idea, what their vision is as a director, but it's super short, low budget, so that they can show the stakeholders and let them know like this is what my work is like.
Yep, it's like a concept, like yes, it's like a representation of a real product of this is the idea, the concept. So when you see MVP as a minimum viable product, it's a concept from lean startup. When you see lean, you remember that I told you that agile is an umbrella. So this is agile. Please pay attention because I know it's like connecting too many dots here. When you see lean, it's under agile. This is a philosophy created by Motorola, I think from Japan, lean management. So when you see lean, it's a concept, it's a philosophy under agile. And lean is based on customer centricity. Customer centricity. I'm not going to provide more details because for now, it's just to let you know that lean startup is a concept. It's a philosophy that it's very popular in agility that stresses the impact of learning and a new product development. So that's it. MVP, it's about agile mindset and it's about lean. And it's creating something to show the final version of your product. I love this book, Eric Ries. I have this book here in my office. It's a expert. This person is an expert creating MVPs for startup organizations. Define an MVP. This is the definition from this expert as that version of a new product which allows a team to collect the maximum amount of validated learning about customers with the least effort. This is another definition. We don't need that for the exam. This is something that is on the top, just a bonus of this class. So MVP, it's part of gathering requirements, collecting requirements. All right, we have another. I did not explain this, so I'm going to skip this quiz because I did not include the functional requirements. So I'm going to continue. So don't pay attention to this quiz. But this one, this page, I would love if Miss Tina, I don't know, Miss Tina, can you read?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm on a,
Yes, just read
lucky
the
for you, I'm at a red light.
okay, just read the things that you see inside of those charts.
Okay, project exclusions.
Mhm.
Sorry, define scope, key document, project scope statement. Project exclusions provides common understanding among all stakeholders. Product scope description, acceptance criteria, describes deliverables. This is the project scope statement.
Thank you very much. Don't read the yellow portion at the bottom because that is a for the exam. So let me just explain. Thank you so much, Ms. Tina. When you said the name of this process, number 3, it's about defining the scope. Remember, one thing is collecting requirements. It's a muster, it's a list of things, like a wish list. Boom, 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 requirements, requirements, requirements. And now you need to make an agreement. This is the subset of those requirements that I'm going to include. I need to be realistic and honest. I cannot make you happy. I cannot make happy everybody. So I have limitations. constraints, and we don't have all the budget available. So that's why you need to create like this is the final scope. So when you're defining this scope, it's about creating this document. And I love this document because this document is the project scope statement. One more time. What is the name of this document? Project scope statement. This is the agreement. The project scope statement is a document that includes a couple of components here. The component number one, you don't need to do it in order, but just I'm trying to keep in order so we can structure the ideas. Number one, project exclusions. Oh my goodness. Something that is not included. You need to put it, this is not included, just to make sure, just in case. I cannot include this type of like versions. I cannot include this type of features. This type of, is too much. We are not doing this. Number one. Number two, this document provides the common understanding among all stakeholders. So this is a claimer. It's a like a statement. This is the agreement. Number three, we are including the product scope description. You see product here, scope description. Number four, another piece of information that we are including in this document is the acceptance criteria. And number five is the list of deliverables. So for the exam, if you're going to forget everything about this document, never forget that the project scope statement provides a detailed description of project deliverables and also the work required to produce the deliverables, meaning everything, the list of features and also the list of activities of work, which is the same, work and items. That is the project scope statement. So keep in mind the yellow portion of this page because this is very popular in the CAPM exam. CAPM exam. Remember, CAPM, it's Certified Associate Project Management exam. All right. I would like to know if, okay, Mr. George, anything, is this clear? Like those components, the yellow part, the definition of this document?
Yes, Professor. Very clear, very conceptual, and descriptive.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to ask Mr. George if you can read this. What is the definition of done? Number one, read this rectangle and this one too, and not this one. So exclude this part. So can you help me reading?
Yes. Definition of done. Definition of done. DOD. The below examples might be included in a user story definition of done. Unit tests passed, code reviewed, acceptance criteria met, functional tests passed, non-functional requirements met, product owner accepts the user story. Definition of done. A set of expectations software increments has to live up to before it's considered done. Established between the team and the client. Everyone should be familiar with it. Promotes transparency in client-team relationships, firm time span, Scrum iteration, plus consistent quality.
Thank you
Wow.
very much. So I want you to pay attention because DOD, it's a very important concept in agility. So the definition of done, it's a set of expectations that we need to put in black and white in order to consider when something is done, it's complete. So the best way for me to explain this concept, it's just put in an example. And no se ríen, but this is something that I use every single class. I have my daughter. My daughter is Lisette Gabriela. We have a visitor this Sunday. We have a couple of visitors and they want to like see or check this house because they want to buy a house in this neighborhood. So they're coming this Saturday at 1 p.m. So could you please set Gabriela, my daughter, can you please clean your room? Is that okay for you? Okay. And my daughter said, okay, mommy, I'm going to do that. All right. So that was a clear conversation. I'm very happy waiting for the visitors this Sunday. And when I'm going to check the room on Sunday at 12:30, and I said, let me just inspect if my beautiful daughter clean her room. So oh my goodness, when I see the room, it's shoes all over the places. It's a mess. I say, hey, Lisa Gabriela. Yes, mommy. Okay, I told you that we have a couple of visitors that are coming to see the house, and they're going to explore because they want to buy a house in this neighborhood. And I told you to clean your room. And she said, yes, mommy, but you told me to clean my room. To clean my room, as my understanding, is just to take all my video games and put it into the box. That's it. So what happened is that I never explained my daughter that the definition of done of cleaning the room, her room, it was about fixing the bed, just organizing the shoes. So that is the definition of done, the best example that I can give you. So the definition of done, meaning that you need to create this piece of information so you can make sure that every single stakeholder in the Agile project, they know what is the definition of done. What are the criteria that we need to accomplish in order to consider that this deliverable is done and complete? So, Mr. George, the definition of done concept, it's clear after this example.
Yes.
Okay. So that is the DOD. Oh my goodness, that is so important. That is the transparency and agility. The definition of that is making sure everybody understands we're on the same page. All right, emphasis, negotiate project agreements, use in agile Scrum approaches, build shared understanding, very similar, the scope statement and DOD. Those two concepts are very important in project management. Let me check what time is it because we have the other break in 10 minutes. Okay, take your time and try to respond this quiz. And Mr. George, let me know when you see the feedback from the participants. Yes, you got it. Yes. Yes, because remember that you can eliminate the two things that those two pieces, those are no part of this scope management. You know what I mean? So you can just eliminate the two things that are absolutely no. Maybe this one, you know what I mean, George? Una técnica para there is a technique to take tests and
Yeah, what you know doesn't apply, eliminate first and see what you end up with.
Exactly. You eliminate the two
Process
things. No, for sure it's not B. For sure it's not C. Okay, the only one that is left is okay, so it's B. Yes, process of elimination. That's the technique in taking exams. Thank you, Miss Tina. Thank you, Miss Jules, Miss Larissa, Mr. George. Yes, the answer is A. This is the only one that it's about scope when you don't know exactly the right answer. Okay, continue. Okay, now this is my favorite topic, and I know you are not going to sleep in this 5 minutes. So when you see the elephant, let me ask Miss Tina, Miss Larissa, who helped me reading? The last person was Miss Tina, right? Oh no, Mr. George. Oh, Miss Jules. Miss Jules, can you help me reading this page?
Yes. So, number 4, create WBS. It's the process of subdividing project deliverables and project work into smaller, more manageable components. So the work breakdown structure is deliverable oriented decomposition of the work, organizes and defines the total scope, and work not in the WBS is outside the project.
Thank you very much. So the WBS now at this point, you guys are expert in this concept. So as you can see, the WBS, the creation of the WBS is the process of decomposing, subdividing, breaking down. It's a work breakdown. You're breaking down the huge animal, which is the vision of your project, into smaller pieces. That's it. That's it. That is the work breakdown structure. So this is the example. This is a house. We have the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the basements, the garage, the driveway. And not only that, this is the level number one, but you can continue decomposing into smaller pieces until you can estimate the activities or the work to be done. So that's it. This is the WBS. You will see for the exam a couple of terminologies that we need to know. For example, the work package. The work package. And of course, work package definition is part of the PowerPoint, but I'm just presenting this information. But if you download the PowerPoint, you will see every single page. I'm just presenting some pages of the PowerPoint because that is a study guide for you guys to use. Let me know if I'm confusing you, but the only thing that I'm presenting is the more relevant information. But when you download the PowerPoint, you will see like 100 pages, but maybe I'm presenting 45. Is that clear, Mr. George? That I'm presenting only
Yes,
the
Professor. You're
Oh,
giving us some highlights, some
Highlights.
features that are going to be good for the exam. But in all, the PowerPoint will have a more detailed
More
outlook on the
detailed.
things to study.
Yes, so the work package is the lowest level of a WBS. That is the work package definition. Also, some like terminologies that you will see for the exam is this system, like an identifier. So in the WBS, you will see a couple of numbers for each one of the components. This is a unique identifier. Identifier for each one of the deliverables of the WBS. This is the code of account. So I don't want to confuse you, but a couple of definitions for the exam that I'm not going to explain right now because it's too much, it's too deep. So for now, the WBS is the decomposition of my work. Let me continue because I have an example that you're gonna love this example. All right, creating the WBS is the process of decomposing the project scope. We know that. It's deliverable oriented, and Ms. Jules explained that right now. Oh my goodness, this is a tricky question for the exam. The WBS is not a list of activities. It's not a list of activities. It's a list of deliverables, components. When you decompose the deliverables into activities, that will be part of the schedule. It's just to schedule and quantify the durations. That's another step in project management. For now, it's just the list of deliverables. It's a project planning tools, visualizes the project, defines the scope, and it's a beautiful communication tool. That's it. So just to let you know. So create the WBS, the most popular tool is the decomposition, and you know that. It's the process of breaking the project deliverables into smaller pieces. Scope baseline, remember that we have a triangle in project management. One side is the scope. Pay attention, this is a little bit tricky. This is a budget. You remember the 3 baselines that George Lendeber explained last week? And the schedule here, schedule. 3 baselines. So the scope baseline is it's a document, or it's a piece of information that has 3 different elements. It's the approved version of the number 1 scope statement, number 2 WBS, And number 3, WBS dictionary. So I don't want to confuse you. You don't need to memorize this, so don't worry. It's just to let you know that the baseline of the scope baseline, is not one thing, it's 3 things. 3 things. 1, 2, and 3. Scope statement, the WBS, and the WBS dictionary. That's it. This is the output of the Create WBS. So the WBS dictionary, it's a document that provides all the details of every single deliverable that you put into the WBS. It's a document that provides detailed deliverable activity scheduling information about each component in the work breakdown structure. So you see the WBS is about deliverables, but the dictionary contains more information. You will see here. This is a dictionary, WBS dictionary. I know, guys, it's too much information, but I need to mention high level. What are the things that we have into this document? Code of account. You remember the identifier that I told you. 1.1, 1.2. Those are identifier of the deliverables. 1.3, 1.4. The description of the work, the assumptions and constraints, the responsive organization, the list of milestones, blah, blah, blah. What is that, let's say? This is a WBS dictionary, period. So the WBS dictionary contains detailed description of each work package. Remember, the work package is the lowest level of the WBS. Okay, now I'm going to share with you a beautiful example coming up, so we can be happy because that's too much. Okay, answer this question. Please take your time and remember elimination technique. Yes, Mr. George. Yes, 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 Miss Tina. Yes, Miss Larissa. Yes, remember elimination, process of elimination, Miss Jules. Thank you. All right. So yes, that is the answer. WBS dictionary. It's a description of what packages are contained in WBS dictionary. All right. Okay, now is the examples. Please pay attention. Okay. I want you to, let me see what time is it, because we have the break coming up in 4 minutes. 4 minutes, we are going to take the break. And after the break, we're almost done. All right. So Cisco Solutions Project Scope. I remember in 2015, when I got the Cisco job here in the city of Miami, in Doral. No, that was before. What? That's like 15 years ago. I remember that I was part of this beautiful team. The name of my team was the Emerging Markets Cisco Solutions Team. Emerging Markets is a geography of 147 countries, and I told you that during my introduction. It was a challenge because I realized that in order to succeed in international business in a very complex environment, and it was because thank God, I got the PMP certification. So I said, that's why I need to teach PMP, CAPM and project management, because this methodology, this knowledge is helping me a lot. So that's why I made a decision to teach this class. ¿Cuánto aplauden? Yay! That's why I'm here. That's why I said, I need to teach. This is too complicated. I need to put it easier for my colleagues and my generation and my community. Pongan alguna reacción, put some reactions, because it's not only me laughing and having fun here. That's why, guys, that I'm here having fun teaching you project management. Okay. So this was my experience. I remember that we got a couple of initiatives as part of the team, and we have interlock and alignment. Remember, this is about the business. Very, very complex business. Talking about solutions, IT, technologies. So we had this list of objectives or goals or strategic initiatives in my organization. So we have number one, interlock and alignment. That was Mario De Novi, my friend from Venezuela. He was responsible for interlock and alignment. VCOI, that was Mr. Roberto. I'm talking about my experience. That was the first day I realized that we have this list of things to do as a team. This was my other Miguelina. And that was Lisette, the business management. So having said that, we had every single Monday a tracking and follow-up meeting. So because we were part of emerging markets, pay attention, we got 1 or 2 team members in London, 2 in Mexico, 2 in California and Los Angeles, 2 people here in Miami. So all over the places. So that's why we needed to do that meeting at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. every Monday. The bad news is that we were spending around 3 hours and a half. So more than 3 hours just in one meeting once a week. So it was a headache. Eso era un nightmare, una pesadilla. Oh my goodness, Monday is coming, 3 hours. And why? Because we didn't have a special WBS organized in the team to track and follow up the progress of each one of those initiatives. And I remember that we needed to present one by one, just PowerPoint presentations in different formats. It was crazy. So as soon as I got my PMP certification and I learned that we can create an organized vision of a WBS, created WBS, I said, okay, Mario De Novi, let's do this. That was Mario De Novi. He was a programmer, developer. He knew how to create like websites. And I said, okay, Mario De Novi, let's do this. Don't say anything. Just let's do this. Let's create like a WBS. And not only that, but also create like a web page. And the only thing we need to do is just click on the link and each one of those initiatives will be clear to create like the status, the information, and we don't need to use a PowerPoint anymore. That's the idea. So this is what we did. The first step that we did was create a WBS. Yay! WBS concept. How to organize the elephant. This is the elephant. Let me go back. This is the elephant. This is the WBS. So interlock and alignment, virtual community of interest, growth and management, business management. That was Lisette responsible for that thing, and life rate migration. So if you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deliverables. If you go back, those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deliverables. So in less than 2 minutes, I'm going to explain how you can use a WBS concept to organize every single elephant in your real life. So this was the structure, the WBS, and we created like a table like this. You see WBS components, business management, growth management, life rate migration, virtual community of interest. And we put a clickable item here just to create like a very friendly report, visual report, and track the progress. So in this case, the responsibles listed me. Status completed. Start date, boom, August. End date, August 31st. Progress, 95%. Priority, that was an idea, just implementing or applying the WBS concept. After the implementation of this website, every single, of course, team member were responsible to update the status and input the information, of course. We saved like 2 hours and a half every single Monday. So this is more details of the wiki site, like an intranet website, enterprise website, and more historical information here. So that's my 2 cents. Final message, you can use a work rhythm structure to organize anything at any time. And after that implementation, we reduced the meeting duration. Instead of 3.5 hours, we did it in 1.5 hours duration of the meeting. So we're saving 2 hours. Any comment? Say something. Did you like the example? My humble example. Did you like the example? Anyone? Open your microphone. Say something. Hello?
Yeah. Woo.
Yes.
Any comments? Yes. Reaction?
Amazing.
Yay. A simple idea can resolve a huge problem. All right, guys, we have now 10 minutes break. It's 9:03. Let me put it on the screen here. It's 9:03 plus 10. I see you at 9:13. Okay, George, are we ready for the break? I want feedback from everybody. Put number one in the chat, on the Zoom chat, Number one, thank you. Thank you, Miss Larissa. Thank you, Miss Jules. Thank you.
Yes, everybody has answered one.
Yes, Miss China. Okay, I see you guys in 10 minutes. Okay, let me know, Miss Tina, Miss Larissa. Can you see my screen? Can you hear me? Anyone?
Yes.
Okay. So before the break, we're talking about the WBS. And I was giving the example about how you can use the WBS concept just to organize anything. So in this case, I was trying to organize the meetings that we had on a weekly basis just to track the progress of every single strategic initiative of Cisco as part of my team. So I was explaining that I use the WBS concept to make like a breakdown every single element here put, and we create like the different components with the name of each one of the work to be done. Each one of these things, they had a specific response. So in this case, we created something like this, like a table. And the final message is that we reduce the duration of the meeting almost by 2 hours. It was an amazing accomplishment. And that was my humble example, how you can apply the work breakdown structure idea at any time, at any place, regardless the country, regardless the culture, the language. It is what it is. We need to organize processes all over the places. So having said that, I asked you for a reaction, you did it, and that's it. So now I'm going to continue because we're almost done with the scope management chapter. And before we finish, I would like to just to refresh a couple of key takeaways. Key takeaways. Number one, in the project context, the terminology scope can be product scope and project scope, two different ideas. Number two, in predictive projects, the scope baseline is the approved version of the scope statement document that Miss Tina, you remember that she was reading the triangles and the names and a visual representation of the components of this document, the WBS and the WBS dictionary. One more time. In predictive projects, predictive projects, the scope baseline, remember baseline, the triangle, is the approved version of the project scope statement, which is one document, the WBS, and the WBS dictionary. Three things in one. All right. Third, in adaptive projects, the backlog, please pay attention, this is not WBS. In adaptive, it's a backlog, contains the list of requirements. Remember, features, capabilities, functions, use cases, user stories, bugs, mistakes, trainings. In scope management, we have a couple of processes: planning, collect requirements, define scope, create a WBS, and so on. So that is the key takeaways of the scope management topics. Scope management topic. All right. So having said that, I think we are ready to, yes, the last part of the class today is scheduling. Now we have the scope, we have the plan, we have the deliverables, we have the WBS. Now what? What is the next step? The next step is decompose the WBS, the work packages, into activities and create the calendar. That is our next topic. So I'm going to transition very quick because I'm happy to announce that the class today is almost done, maybe 30 more minutes, and we will be fine to close. Okay, let me just open scheduling. Mr. George, any question in the chat? Any comments?
No questions right now, Professor.
Thank you very much. So, can I continue, Mr. George?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for give me the permission to continue because we are clear. All right. So now I want you to take a deep breath, like, okay, relax, because this is another topic, schedule management, time management. So having said that, this is a very nice topic, but it's too much information. So today, maybe we can cover like 25% of the topic, because I don't want to do like overwhelming you with a lot of information. So we can introduce the class next day, just completing the pending topics of schedule management. So let me check how we can proceed. All right, so scope is done. Now we are going to introduce the scheduling. And at the end of this module, we'll be talking about 6 processes. I know it's too many. It's too many, I know. But I have a good news. Some of them you can avoid and just summarize a couple of processes. You will see. So in this class, we're going to mention the 6 project schedule management processes in a project. These are the expectations. Number 2, we're going to understand what is the critical path. What does that look like? I'll let you know coming up. And we're going to know how to calculate the float of the project. Number 3, we're going to identify considerations for agile and adaptive environments. Yay! I love agile. Number 4, we're going to talk about the schedule compression techniques. What is that? Is when you create the first version of the calendar, believe me, anyone at any time they're going to ask you, hey, Leslie, can you just do that in less than the time that you're giving me right now? That I think that is too much. I cannot wait 3 months to get my product. Can you just reduce the implementation time? That is a challenge, and it's inevitable. You need to know how to compress the calendar. The 2 techniques that the PMI Global Standard it's recommending are crashing and fast tracking. What is that? 2 techniques to compress the calendar: crashing and fast tracking. All right. Please pay attention because I'm going to ask any volunteer. I'm going to start asking Mr. George. Are you available, Mr. George, to read this?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Project schedule management includes the processes required to manage the timely completion of the project.
Thank you very much. So I learned from my mentor, Ernesto Custodio, who's my agile mentor, that he said something. There are 2 types of people in the world. One group of people is all the time asking, time, where did you go? Oh my gosh, I didn't have time to do this. Oh my gosh, this is the month number 6 in this year, and I haven't done anything. Oh, that is that group of people. There are another group of people like us that we are organizing the time in such a way that you can command the time. Hey, time, go there, come here, do this. So this is the type of mentality that we need in order to implement the project management tools and techniques in this class. We are going to dominate, we're going to order, we're going to command. Hey, Mr. Time, do whatever I want. So I'm taking the authority here. So project schedule management is about the processes that we need in order to finish the schedule, the project on time. On time. That's our objective. That's our goal. It's all about implementing the project on time. Okay. So remember that at the beginning of each one of the knowledge areas or topics in this class, we have this type of summary. So don't worry, I'm not expecting you to memorize everything. It's just that it's my job. I need to do this. I'm sorry, it's not my fault. But the PMI is including a lot of processes here. However, I have a good news for you after I read in these definitions. So the processes schedule management in the PM book guide. This is the Bible, chapter 6, page 173. We have process number 1, process number 2, process number 3, 4, 5, 6. So planning, as I told you before, is the first process on every single knowledge area in project management. So when you see planning, schedule management is about establishing the policies for planning, developing, executing, and controlling the calendar. That's clear. Number 2, now that I have the plan, I need to move to the next step, which is define the activities. Remember that we are coming from the scope management, which is the WBS. And here in the WBS, we have the deliverables. Remember that. So now we need to decompose the work packages into activities or milestones. So we need to define the activities. What is that? It's identify activities, decomposition, and that it's a progressive elaborated. This is a topic that I told you, the class number 1. That is a known terminology, rolling wave plan. Process number 3, sequence activities. What is that? Listen, now that I have the list of activities, activity number 1, no, activity A, activity B, activity C, activity D, this is the list of activities. Now I need to organize the activities based on the logical relationship between them. What is the name of that process? Sequence activities. I cannot start activity B until I finish activity A. So you need to create like a predecessor chart. You will see how cool is that chart, the network, you will see. So it's representing the dependencies, the precedence diagramming methodology, and identifying leads and lags. I know too much information. I'll let you know the definition coming up. Sequence activity. Process number 4, it's estimating the activity duration. Now that I have the list of activities and I order it into the logical relationship like this, like a chart like this, activity A, activity C, activity D, boom. Now I'm going to estimate the durations so we can calculate the final duration of the project, of course. So when you estimate, you are determining the work periods needed, and you're going to use a couple of tools and techniques to estimate the duration. So I'm going to explain one by one. What is analogous estimating? What is parametric estimating? What is a 3-point estimating? What is a risk and reserve estimating? So that is another information that I'm going to explain coming up. So those are estimation tools. Process number 5. Now that I have the chart, the network, the list of activities, the duration, I have everything. Now I need to create the final schedule. This is the baseline. Creating this schedule baseline. It's about identifying the start and finish dates of each one of the activities. I need to confirm how many resources do I need. Something that I need to know, what is the critical path? What is the critical path? It's another topic, very nice. coming up. And last but not least, how to compress. And I was explaining a little bit about that. Sometimes we need to reduce the duration of the project. The name of that, it's compression. And last but not least, we have controlling schedules. It's about managing the changes. All right. Mr. George, let me know if you see any question.
No questions so far. You're good to go.
Okay, now I have the good news in pink color here. Let me take the favorite color of Larissa and myself. You see, violet. Larissa, are you here? Miss Larissa?
Yes.
Okay, this is our color, lilac and purple. Good news. In real life, we don't need to apply this amount of processes like individually, like boom, boom, boom. No. You can summarize like 1, 2, 3, 4 in one. So in a smaller projects, make a single process of define activities, organizing the activities, which is sequencing, estimating the durations, and developing the schedule, which is the calendar. So we don't need to do like a step by step. No. You can do it like one time even. Boom. We did everything in like one process in a simple, smaller projects. So we are saving a lot of time. 1, 2, 3, 4. That will be this one. Sequencing, estimating, this 4. It's going to be just equal one process in smaller projects. That is a really good news. So Lisa, why the PMI is putting this breakdown of a lot of processes and terminology? This is the design of the learning class. This is just for learning purposes. That's it. That is the explanation. This is just for the exam. Okay, now I'm going to ask a volunteer. I think 10 more minutes and we're finished. Let me ask Miss Tina, can you help me reading this beautiful page?
Yes. Consideration for agile, adaptive environments. Short cycles to undertake work, review the results, and adapt as necessary. These cycles provide rapid feedback and manifest as iterative scheduling and on-demand pull-based scheduling. The role of the project manager does not change. However, to be successful in using adaptive approaches, the project manager will need to be familiar with the tools and techniques to understand how to apply them effectively.
Absolutely. We don't need to read this. Just ignore this part. So having said that, thank you so much, Ms. Tina, for reading this. This is my favorite topic, is consideration for agile and adaptive. In agility mindset, we know that we use short cycles to undertake work. You remember the name of these short cycles? Anyone? Any volunteer? You remember the name of this in agility?
Sprints.
These are, what is the name of number 1, number 2, number 3? What is the name of this cycle in agility?
Sprints.
Sprints, yes. Those are the sprints. So as you know, in agility, we don't need to create like a long-term calendars. Why? Because we are working in short cycles. And those cycles, the duration is fixed, it's time boxed. It's from 1 to 4 weeks. So we don't need to reinvent the wheel in calendars, like weird calendars. No, we have sprint number 1. This is the duration of sprint number 1, 4 weeks. So we create like several sprints. We create short cycles to undertake work, review the results, and adapt. You see, inspection and adaptation. Number 2, these cycles provide rapid feedback and manifest like iterative, like constantly cycles of scheduling. So we're constantly reviewing the duration of each sprint. So that's why, and this is an on-demand pull-based scheduling. This is absolutely different. In traditional, you create this elephant, this huge calendar, but in agility, no, it's short cycles of time. It's more flexible, more realistic, and it's adaptive, and you can improve after each one of those cycles. So the role of us, project managers, PM here, boom, project manager, does not change. However, to be successful in using agility, we need to know how to use the tools and techniques that I'm going to explain coming up. So having said that, it's 9:32. I'm going to share with you guys the homework, and we finished early today. I know what I'm doing. It's too much information for one day. So let me make sure you can see the assignment for the next class, which is this Friday. And we will be good to go. Good to finish the class. All right. Okay, now I'm jumping into the specific page of the homework. So let me know, anyone, if you can see team assignment week number 4. Anyone? Can you guys see the homework?
Yes.
Okay, there's two things that I
Yes.
need. Okay, I need to fix this. This is not week, it's class. Class number 4, no week. And we have only 3 teams. So you can ignore the team number 4 assignment. So pay attention to this, take a picture. And remember, this is part of the PowerPoint presentation that I'm sharing with you right now. And it's posted right now, it's posted on your classroom. So we'll be talking about cost management, cost baseline, and quality management. Those 2 beautiful topics. Team number 1 is going to read the project cost management. You can read from here, or you can go to your Bibles. Yes, Miss Jules?
Hi, thank you. I wanted to ask, is there any materials, like probably the PowerPoints or the book, that you would suggest we review now while we're taking the course, or should we take in the information now and then when the course ends, like go through everything again? Basically, is there anything now that you would recommend we do after class besides the homework to prepare?
There's a noise, like a background noise. Can you repeat? George, can you help me listening? You know, go bien. If the PowerPoint is available, that's your question, Miss Jules.
What she was asking, because I heard it a little bit more clearly, was, is there any other supplementary work that we should be doing now in between classes or in conjunction with the
Yes,
homework?
yes. Remember, the homework is just to press something to do here in class. But you have 1 week, almost 3 or 4 days. So you can do this. Read the entire chapter, not only this portion. That is highly recommended to read more. Because at the end of the class, you don't need to, oh my goodness, just go back and start from scratch. You can just move forward from the very beginning of the class. So my recommendation is, number 1, read the PowerPoint and take practice exams. For each one of these topics, you will see a practice exam of 10 questions in the classroom. So you can absolutely do that. And also you can use the simulator for free. So you can start taking exam simulator, free trial. So when you get the date and you are approved from the PMI to take the exam, now you can pay this application like a software. The name of that is PM Training. It's a website where you can be training, pmtraining.com. So you can do that. Go to pmtraining.com, that is in the classroom right now, and download this application for free for now. And start taking exams. You can customize the exams based on the topic. So you can create your own exams. For example, okay, you select the topic and you put 10 questions. You can put 20 questions. You can put 30 questions. So you can start creating your own exams in PM training. And also, I gave you a lot of practice exams for free, a PDF format in the classroom. So 2 things, reading and taking exams. That it's highly recommended, Ms. Jules. Is that clear? Did I respond your question? Anyone?
Yes, I understood it. Yeah, you gave us practice tests and reading.
Reading and text, reading and text. Okay, guys, just make sure you have a picture of this assignment. Remember that you can use the PM book as your Bible, and also don't forget to use the ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini assistant. All right. Are we guys ready to say goodbye and good night? Have a nice good night. I see you Friday.
Bye,
Bye.
teacher. Have a good
Bye.
night. I'll
See
see
you
you
Friday.
later.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you
Thank
so much. Bye.
you.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. Bye,
Love
Good
Larissa.
you.
Bye,
night.
Tina. Bye,
Bye.
Jules.
Bye, George. Bye, Larissa. Bye, Tina.
Bye, Julie. Bye, Larissa. Bye, George.